You've been on the run for a while now. Your bones are aching. Your body hurts. As you climb up into an attic, you lay back. You had found this abandoned warehouse about a week ago, and you'd circled back into it. This bounty hunter was relentless, you thought. As you finally sat down to catch your breath, you looked around the room, staring at the several pictures on the walls. Your eyes blinked for a few moments. You recognized the figure on the wall. Was this the bounty hunter? Had they been here already? Decided to take a closer look. It seems the bounty hunter was some sort of man, an elderly man. He looked nervous. You blinked your eyes a few times before sitting back down. All this started just because you wanted to find your parents. Such a sad, miserable fate you've put yourself in. And then you hear footsteps. Slowly, something's walking towards you. You got down on the floor and listened. And then you heard the door open. You looked for somewhere to hide, but there was nowhere. The room was empty, except for the single chair in the middle of the room and a small futon. You stared on as the door opened, and then you saw him. The man you feared, the hunter. Ugh. God, I'm getting real tired of chasing this twerp. Honestly, I don't know why they're so desperate to get their hands on him. They're just a single human. Is it honestly really that bad? Ugh. God, I need to take a load off. If I knew this bounty was going to be this much of a pain in the ass, I wouldn't have taken it. What the hell? What are you doing in my place? Thought you'd get the drop on me, huh? Well, there's one thing you need to realize, little prey. I'm not your average bounty hunter, and you ain't taking my life so easily. You tried to signal to him that's not what your intention was. You were just trying to run away. He stepped closer and closer. He drew a dagger. So, you're insisting you didn't mean to jump me, hmm? You didn't happen to just break into my home. Well, excuse me if I don't exactly believe you. Humans are not exactly the trusting sort. And, well, I've learned to be deeply distrustful of you. You asked this strange man why he was so distrustful. Well, let me put it this way for you. As a demi-human myself, I have learned that humans are scumbags. And they'll do anything for a coin or profit. Like me, of course. But the difference is, I don't go poking my nose where it don't belong. You nearly fell over the chair, it falling to the floor. You fell on your ass. The bounty hunter smirked and picked up the chair. And he sat in it. You looked puzzled. What, do you think I was gonna end you so easily? Sit on the futon, pathetic worm. You do as he says, slowly sitting down onto the futon. It reeks and smells of mildew. So, how about you give me the backstory here? I've been chasing you forever, and the only thing I have is you were apparently knocking on some doors you shouldn't have been knocking on. You want to inform me on what's going on? Your eyes widened. This could be your chance at salvation. You eagerly explained what was happening. I see. So, you're a moron. You honestly thought you could just walk up to Prince Sarif and nothing would happen? He's a god. Did you honestly think he wouldn't send people after you? You think he has something to do with your parents going missing? Sorry. I maybe should quit the habit of smoking. Now, what are we gonna do about you? You went and poked your nose into a god's business, looking for your parents. What did you find out? You have me curious. No. You found out Prince Sarif has your parents somewhere. Well, I wouldn't really know, but it does sound like up his alley. He does have a tendency to take, especially the minds of others he disagrees with. That's why he's ordered me to take you alive. Although if you prove to be too much of a struggle, he did say it could hurt you. And I won't lie, for a dragonkin like myself, it is very tempting. But if I hurt you too much, I may not be paid as much, and that would be unfortunate. Why am I a bounty hunter? Well, are you just trying to get me to open up so I won't take you in? It's not a bad strategy. I mean, I wouldn't mind having my own little plaything. Oh, I jest. But if you really want to know, I originally was a slave. Then Prince Sarif freed me, and as long as I worked as his dutiful retriever, let's say, I was able to live mostly free, as long as I returned to him within a week or two of my departures. This time, though, he's let me extend it, just to grab you. He doesn't like the idea of someone finding out about what he's doing. Very secretive, mind you. But between you and me, I heard he's got Prince Arthur wrapped all around his fingers. But that's just a rumor. My name. I won't give you my true name, but you can call me. How about this for a name? I am Razor. That's right, the legendary assassin. I've killed hundreds with my blade, and I've hunted a lot more. As a bounty hunter, I'm quite efficient at the job. You look tense. Do you want a drink? Fine. I don't mind pouring a glass. Just sit tight. You see him get up from his chair. He walks over to a crate. He didn't notice it in the darkness of the room. He slowly pries the lid off. As he sets it on the ground, he grabs out a large bottle. green viscous liquid can be seen in there. As he takes it out, he pours it into 2 glasses. He smirks as he walks to you, handing you a glass as he takes one himself. There you go. What is it? Isn't it fun to drink and find out for yourself? Where'd be the fun in that? You see him quickly down the liquid. He doesn't seem affected by it. You look at the glass and the bubbling green liquid. You shut your eyes, you hold your nose, and you down it in 1 gulp. Nothing feels off for now. Did you enjoy that? It comes from my homeland, you see. It's a type of alcoholic pleasure, some might say. It helps people relax, feel comfortable. In fact, on most races, it can act as a sedative. Your heart starts racing as soon as he says that word. You go to get up from your chair, and you fall flat on your face. Oh, does someone's legs stop working? That's a shame. He walks closer and picks you up from your arms. I'm sorry to do this to you. After all, we were just getting to know each other. But as he smiles, his human-like visage suddenly gets replaced by razor-sharp teeth. I think we've had our fun, haven't we? The world goes dark, and you are left in the void. You try to open your eyes. It feels like hours have passed. As you slowly manage to get your eyes fluttering open, you see a figure standing in front of you. You try to grab it, only for it to be whisked away. Was that an hallucination, you thought? You tried to move your hands. They didn't work. You tried to move your legs. They also didn't work. It appeared that the liquid you drank earlier was still in effect, meaning it was still circulating through your system. As you got your eyes open, fully, you saw you were in a cell of some sort. You were able to make your eyes move about the room without moving your head. For a cell, it was strangely clean, almost pristine. The floor made of a smooth granite, and the bars steel. You could see a light shining forward from behind you. Perhaps it was some sort of window, but you couldn't see. Soon enough, you felt your hands slowly start to come back to life. You were able to move a finger or two, and then soon enough your palm and your wrists. You tried to do this tried to use them to lift yourself up. Slowly and surely you returned strength into your arms, and you managed to push yourself backwards, slamming into a wall. It hurt. Your sides were sore. As you looked around the room, you noticed you were alone, or so you thought. A certain sound could be heard to the cage next to you. It wasn't like your cell. It was rotten, dirty. Scraps of food were laid all about the floor. Cockroaches. It was disgusting. But what you saw horrified you even more. A snake-type being. But it wasn't just a snake. It looked like it had been formed with multiple different species. You could see parts of a snake, a bull, perhaps even a lion somewhere in there. It was truly a horrific sight. The upper body of a snake, the bottom half of a bowl, with fur covering all around it, and a human head at the top. It looked horrific. You heard it growl, a sinister, disgusting, sickly growl. You backed away to the side of your cage, your legs suddenly springing to life, adrenaline pumping through them, your heart pounding. What was that thing? You stared on in horror. This is Sarif's dungeon, you thought to yourself. You stared ahead. There was nothing. All the other cells were empty. It was just you and this thing. It was gnawing at the bars, scratching. It wanted to eat you. You didn't want to be food for this thing. You were protected by 2 sets of bars. But would that keep you safe, you wondered? This thing looked like it could get out of its cage easily. But it didn't. Pipe down, pipe down. Your eyes flashed open and looked towards the stairs. A figure clad in white robes walked down the stairs. You saw this being, purple electricity forming off of his body. Big, deep black eyes stared at you, purple pupils at the center, tentacles sprawling off in every direction, and a big, sinister smile. Sarif was here. Oh, hello! It's wonderful to meet my new occupant. You know, I didn't really appreciate you rifling through my office. Or, poking your nose into other people's business. That's rather rude, you know. You stared on in horror, the tentacles nearly grabbing at your feet. Oh, sorry. They have a mind of their own sometimes, especially with little cute things like you. You pounded against the back of the cell, tried to get away from that thing. You saw what it did. You saw how it lobotomized people. Are you afraid I'll suck all of your willpower away? Afraid I'll turn you to dust? Don't be scared. They love being my puppets, and I'm sure you will. Sire! What? Meeting with Prince Arthur is coming soon. As much as I'd love to turn you into one of my children, it'll unfortunately have to wait. Bye-bye. You soon walked away, the tentacles receding back into him, and the electricity disappearing, as he turned back to that childlike form. What was he, you thought? He was definitely not what he was saying he was. They claimed he was a god, but he must be a demon. You looked back over at the snake creature from earlier. It was cowering. You then looked back towards the doors. Who was that just now? You then heard a familiar voice. Bravo. Didn't think you'd be able to handle yourself. I'm impressed. Still stuck in a cage, though. Did my drink not sit right? You must be a lightweight. You still look sluggish, even with all that adrenaline pumping through you. You wanted to curse him out. How could he do this to you? Do this to you? Did Here, let me tell you something. There's only one thing I need in this world. Money. You don't got it, then you're screwed. And that's all there is to it. And look, I got a hefty paycheck. And you know what I'm gonna go do with this paycheck? I'm gonna go get a nice drink while you rot in this cell. Isn't that lovely? Why am I here to gloat? Well, let me just say, you were a gigantic pain in my ass. And well, yeah, I'm here to gloat. I finally caught you after all this time. Have fun rotting in there. See you later. Maybe I'll check you out, like a monkey in a cage. And hey, you keep it down. Yeah, suck it. See you later. He walked up the stairs and he was gone. The snake creature recoiled in fear, shivering. Whatever that guy had done to it, it clearly was afraid. You saw the look in its eyes. It was terrified of where it was and what it was and why it was here. Was this thing sentient, you thought? You attempted to talk to it. And then it stared at you for just a moment, almost as if it recognized your voice, or some sort of way. Or maybe it was just hungry again. You couldn't be certain. But what it did next shocked you. Friend. It said the word friend. Could it be a friend? Could you trust this thing? You didn't know. But you stared at it again. It bowed its head, and it slithered around itself. Its poor horse legs looking mangled, its fur being matted, and its human head having all kinds of bruises. You attempted to get close to it, putting your hands around the bars of your cage and reaching out to touch it. You took that as a go-away sign, as it hissed at you. You then sat down and stared out the bars of your cell, wondering when you would escape. I also thought of your parents. Were they still alive somewhere? Were they lobotomized? Were they still themselves? You didn't know, but you were going to find out what happened to them one way or another. This you swore.